Congress is getting closer to voting on sweeping immigration reform. The Senate showed strong support yesterday for a measure of the so-called Gang or 8 bill that would tighten border security.
News 8's Jenna Traum breaks down what's in the bill and how it would impact your own communities.
Mark and Lisa, the Senate is on track to hold a final vote on the Gang of 8 bill before Congress breaks for recess at the end of the week. If this bill passes, about 11 million undocumented workers would become eligible for permanent residency, but only after Homeland Security develops significant border security and fencing plans. Immigrants granted this so-called provisional legal status would be able to work and travel in the U.S., but would not be eligible for most federal benefits like welfare and health care. Here's a look at how it would change things for migrant workers and their employers in our community. Picking apples is no walk in the park.
It's physically demanding work. For the more local citizens, it's difficult because it's a seasonal job. And it's very hard to get somebody or to expect somebody to leave a good job to come and do this for 6 weeks.
That's why Tom Ferguson hires 20 to 25 migrant workers every year, mostly from Mexico, to help prune and pick Ferguson's orchard's 40,000 apple trees. About half of the people who come to him looking for work turn out to be illegal immigrants, even the ones who've lived in the state with their families for a decade or more.
Here, we make sure that everybody's got a work visa, everybody's got a social security number. Whether or not that ends up being valid by the time we submit all the paperwork, we never know.
He says the so-called Gang of 8 immigration reform bill would make the task easier for him, both by making more undocumented workers eligible for permanent residency and by requiring all employers to use E-Verify, a program to electronically verify workers' legal status.
We do best as a community when we all do better as individuals, and this legislation really will, I think, help us as a community do better.
Curtis Miller, who organizes a local coalition for social justice called AMOS, says the bill would help bring both migrant workers and employers some needed stability.
When you have those kinds of security or those legal statuses where you can plan, where you can build a business, where you can know your workers are going to be there next year, it's going to be better for everybody.
If it's a difference between leaving this crop hanging there on the trees and going to waste, which means financial ruin, or hiring whoever's available to pick them, that's a tough decision for me to make.
If you'd like to learn more about what's in the immigration reform bill, we've got a good breakdown of the details on our website. Just head to news8000.com.
Thank you, Jenna. You have the chance to be a part of a community conversation on the immigrant reform tonight. The discussion will focus on the impact of immigration on the community, including how it affects local schools and health care. The event runs from 6:30 to 8:30 tonight in the Hall of Nations in UWL's Centennial Hall.